on behalf of the work going on within Nautilus and also within the EU. I'm chairing the session on behalf of Luisa and Eva, who are the work package leads for work package 12. And we will have some online and in-person presentations as a sort of a roundtable of different types of citizen science and ocean literacy type of activities happening around here and within the project. So I first wanted to just give a quick briefing about what citizen science and ocean literacy are, and also how they're somewhat related. So first, on the left side in the blue box, citizen science involves the public in scientific research, similar to what Eva presented in the last Work Package 12 presentation. And it has the potential to bring together science, policymakers, and society as a whole in an impactful way. And then on the right side is a definition for ocean literacy, which is the comprehension of how the ocean impacts individuals and how individuals affect the ocean, leading to informed and responsible decisions regarding the ocean and its resources. So the way that they're connected, at least in the type of work that I've participated in and NEVA as well, and a lot of what's happening within Nautilus, is that within citizen science, there has to be some degree of understanding what's happening in the ocean and caring about the ocean and our impacts on the ocean. So you find these two happening at the same time. With ocean literacy, when you start learning about the oceans and the importance the ocean plays in your life, or that you can impact the ocean, that steers people towards wanting to understand it better and participating in citizen science type activities. Within Nautilus, this is a cross-cutting theme. So if you go and look at the grant agreement in the proposal text, we find citizen science and ocean literacy in Work Package 8 and Task 8.4, Task 10.2, 10.4, and 10.5 that was presented by Sandra yesterday on dissemination and communication. And then, of course, in Work Package 12 and Task 12.2, just presented by Eva a few minutes ago. And as I mentioned earlier, these two types of concepts are not mutually exclusive. So one action can lead to the other, and you can also do both at the same time. And I would say that all scientists, all Nautilus scientists here should and they need to have a stake in these types of activities. So for one, they lead to more public awareness. Secondly, this can drive a change in social behavior or have an impact on society. And then third is that increasingly we find these types of activities compulsory in funding calls, and this can lead to more funding. So that should be a positive impact on all of us. All right, so then we will start our workshop, our roundtable. This is the agenda. We have 6 presentations from 6 different presenters. 1 will be pre-recorded, 4 will be online, and then 1 will be in person. And then we'll have some discussion and questions following all of the presentations. So keep in mind any questions or thoughts you have during the presentations. There'll be about 15 minutes each. For those online now, I've been asked for you to please acknowledge and confirm that it's okay to be recorded. So Luisa and Mariana, you agree to be recorded?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then we'll have to do the same when Dina and Harzea show up.
They are here
She's
already.
online.
I mean, Haizea
Okay.
is here already.
Haizea,
Yeah.
do you consent to being recorded?
Yes.
Okay. And then also just for the folks online, just so you know, we're in a single room and we have about 40 participants. That's part of the Nautilus. They are all partners in the Nautilus project, and they're all here eager to hear your presentations. So first we'll start with Luisa Valestran from NEVA, and she is the co-leader of Nautilus's Work Package 12, and she'll give a presentation on Nautilus citizen science. So Luisa, you have 15 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and you can share your screen.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm going to try to stop my screen, but it's all in Greek. Hang on.
Okay, I'll wait.
Is this the stop screen? Oh, you can't see it. On the far right? Stop. Yeah.
Yes.
Super. Then I'll share my screen.
Okay, now you should be able to share your screen, Lisa.
Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So hi everyone. As Andrew introduced, I'm going to talk about Nautilus citizen science activities. So I'll just give we've done a lot of different activities. I'll try to keep it in 15 minutes and give you a short presentation of everything we're done so far. But first, I want to highlight the main objectives of Nautilus, and that is to raise awareness and offer knowledge to students and the general public willing to act as a citizen scientist and participate actively in the monitoring and elimination of plastics. And as Andrew mentioned, it has a lot of impact in the different working packages that we have. And one of the things I want to bring forth today is this scope is to develop and demonstrate improved observing system for anthropogenic debris as macro, micro, and nanoplastics. So I will give some examples of this today. So just jumping to it, first is some school campaigns that we have done. This is organized by CNR with Smart Drifters. So they had two projects, a multidisciplinary method to study the marine litter dispersion from Arno River mouth, and the project Marine Litter Citizen Science Application. And what they did here is that students, they constructed low-cost smart drifters with the GSM tracking system, as you can see in one of the photos here in the lower. And they dispersed them into the Arno River and Mulga River to see how it dispersed into the sea. And you can see the photo here nicely that they're giving it to the sea. And this was also pretty nice because they was able to follow this in real time and the progress for 10 days through a web app. In addition, they had a drone live streaming, which made it available for also students remotely. And in the end, this campaign created a YouTube video that was presented during the Sea Day and a final event that was co-organized with local stakeholders. Yes, and another school campaign was here in Greece, where Nautilus is having a meeting today, and that was organized by HCMR, and it was primarily for primary school students that they had a school class with presentation, but also hands-on experiments. And what they also did is a statistical analysis using data collected by the students regarding the amount of single-use plastic thrown away in their household. And they also did a beach cleaning campaign and for collection and classification also of the plastic litter. And this was quite huge in 12 physical events from May 2022 to May 2023, with about 440 engaged kids at age 7 to 17 years old. In addition to this, they also adapted this program for the needs of a special primary school in Heraklion for students with hearing loss and impairment. And one thing that was developed in Nautilus is the citizen science app. So all this beach cleaning that they did in Greece, it was uploaded through the Nautilus app and made available there. And in this, you can see the map here from Greece and where they collected it. And you can also, all the litter that they collected, it was organized according to the AIMONet thematic lot, number 4 categories. And on the left, you can see how currently a data report can be produced. And what they're working on now is how also to make a new visualization of the report. NIVA has also participated in some school campaigns, and here we have used the near-infrared smartphone scanner. I will talk a bit more about it later. One of the school campaigns was with master students in Bergen, where they had a 2-day field course sampling microplastic and then using this near-infrared scanner to identify the plastic. They've evaluated the distribution and also the potential sources of the plastic fragment around Bergen. Next year, they had a similar performance, but this time at the research center of the University in Bergen, where the student this time they developed their own experiment collecting macro, meso, and microplastic. And again, they used this near-infrared scanner to characterize the collected plastics. Another project with the scanner was with high school students, and this was organized with Inspiria Science Center and Ocean Ops in Oslofjorden, where the goal was to create an activity using the material from plastic pirates, but also using a manta trawl to collect microplastics that I can see in the picture here in the nice brown Oslofjorden water. But this is on a boat, it's like a field course, and they also do other stuff like a soft bottom trawl, and unluckily they get some plastic debris from the soft bottom trawl as well. So along with the microplastic from the manta trawl, they tried to identify the polymers using the near-infrared scanner here as well. You can see the scanner is the one we hold here on the, can you see my pointer by the way? I'm seeing here, but maybe you don't see it. No.
Yes,
can I do that?
We can see it.
You can see it, maybe not the people
Yes.
online, I think. Okay, so you see there's like this plastic big boy thingy that is covered in mud. And above it is this black box, that's the scanner. So you hold it against something and then it scans the plastic. So it's really easy to use, and I see kids can use it as well. And the new project this year, we will use a USV instead with an attachment trawl to collect the plastic. So the scanner itself, it is developed by SKU. It is pretty smart and small. It is like this big or something. And you just hold it against an object and scan it, and then it compares the results to a database. And what Niva has done in the Nautilus project is create a database to compare it with. As you can see in the picture on the far right, where I circled around in red the database. And here we have collected 408 known polymer scans. So high school students have used it. We also used this scanner with more older generations on other expedition ships. So it's like an easy use for everyone. Next, I'm going into some divers campaign that was organized by CNR, and they did this along with the local police diving unit in, excuse my Italian, Gianotri. And what they did is they had a campaign for monitoring and removal of plastic waste from the seabed. And they did a similar campaign the next year, but this time with volunteers. And what was different, that it also collected rubbish left at sea for many years, and they were colonized by intrusive benthic communities. In addition to collecting and cleaning this, they are now studying this plastic to see the degradation state of the polymers. And CNR also participated in a seabed cleaning at 10 Italian locations with the corporations with the Spasanepa and the Citizen Science Project Sea Cleaner. And the protocol that they used in this project or this cleaning will allow data to be used for scientific research in addition. So we also have some projects to reach a wider public, and I will just go through some of them now. For instance, HCMR participated in the Athens Science Festival in 2022 called Worlds of Tomorrow. And here the visitors was mainly kids participating in hands-on experiment aiming to create awareness for marine pollution. And they also had opportunity here to create and craft using plastic garbage. CNR also participated in the Science is Wonderful Fair in Brussels in 2023. They had a booth called Trace the Trash, where over 4,000 young students were involved in the activities, and they learned about the problems of plastic pollutions in our seas, and why some plastic items sinks while other floats. I guess that's maybe the picture on bottom on to the right. Wait, that was not meaning to do that. And with all the nice colors. And then they had also how long plastic remains in the sea and where microplastics are hiding in the sand. CNR had also other events. They participated in the research night in 2022 in Venice, where they were presenting the project Why Marine Science Matter for Ocean Conservation. They also organized a photographic contest called the Plastic Click, and that was for marine on Marine Later, and it was highly for these high school students. HCMR participated in the event celebrating natural science in Chania in 2023, and that was organized by the Laboratory Center of Natural Science, and they presented the effects of plastic and microplastic in the marine environment. The last example I will give today is that CNR participated in the organization of a workshop that was called Plastic at Sea Solutions on the Island Phase 2. And that was together with Sail and Explore Association in 2023 to investigate the flow of plastic waste of Elba Island, this in Italy, and to identify the long-term solution. And yeah, that was all I'm going to say today, actually. So thank you for your attention. If you want to reach out, as Andrew mentioned, Eva is the lead and I'm the co-lead. So here are emails. Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa. So I think, contrary to what I said earlier, we'll take questions and discussion after each presentation. And that way, if any of the speakers need to leave in the middle of the session, they can. So I'll open the floor to any questions or comments for Louisa and Nautilus efforts. Okay, I can start off with a question since everyone here is shy, Louisa. So I was wondering, so for some of these activities, there are some school children involved, and how young can the school children be, and how can we as scientists work with those young students, or how do we deal with those challenges with communicating our work?
That is a very good question. I can only answer for my experience with where we are out in the field with high school students. We have also had some school kids with us on these field trips. They are maybe 6 years old. I haven't gone below that, but of course the material can be adapted. It must be shortened, very, very shortened, and more like introductional and more fun in a way. But they are really interested, and I don't see any problems doing this for younger kids either, because at least my experience is they are often more interested than the older kids in a way, because that's a more personal interest and a interest for just having a grade or learning in school. So yeah, I think it's really possible, to be honest. Just have to make it easier.
They don't have iPhones yet, so they pay more attention.
Yeah, they do.
All right, I see that Isaiah has a question. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Luis, for your presentation. It was really interesting. I was wondering if, do you give any feedback on the data you have collected to the people involved, like what you are doing with those data after they have been participating to the citizen science program?
Yes, we are trying to do that. As I showed with the Nautilus app, we are making the data available. So we try to give them that they're really contributing to science. We did one in the summer school last year in Norway. We used a near-infrared scanner when we did a beach cleaning. And we also used a local app here in Norway. And that app, the data there, it ends up creating a report that goes to the municipalities. So we always try to give them the end of the results. Yeah.
Perfect.
Any other questions from the room or online? Okay, then we'll move on to our second speaker. Thank you, Luisa. Our second speaker is Dina Ibarkina. She's a senior policy and communications officer at Eurogoose, and she'll be giving a presentation entitled Scientists for Ocean Literacy, Eurogoose Recommendations for the UN Ocean Decade. I think you need to unmute yourself. There you are. Yes, we can hear you, and we can see your presentation.
Sharing the slides as well. Good morning, everyone. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Ah, fantastic. And you see it in full mode or not? In full screen?
In full screen, yes.
Okay. And like this as well? Okay, very good. So it should work. Thanks very much. I'm very happy to join this exciting session. Unfortunately, not in person, and today technology is not on my side, but okay, we manage with perseverance. So I'm Dina Ibarkina. I work at the European Global Ocean Observing System, Eurogoose, and I would like to bring us from really looking at hands-on experiences and achievements like presented just now by Louisa to a little bit more broader scale, let's say systemic engagement between scientists and citizens. So this is basically the topic of my short intervention here. In Eurogoose, we have a network on ocean literacy and a working group. And also an Ocean Decade project, which is called Scientists for Ocean Literacy. And what we do there is trying to engage those scientific institutes, mainly in our network, like NIVA, for example, and a shout out to Louise and Andrew, who are both members of our working group on ocean literacy. CNR, IFREMA, and many other are part of this activity in order to provide a community of practice for scientists engaging in societal outreach and ocean literacy, citizen science, and also have a change in the paradigm of how we actually fund those activities, how we sustain them, and whether we really carefully regard them as of high strategic importance with adequate financing and sustainability plans. So this working group is operating for already 5 years. It started as a network and grew into a working group in Eurogoose. We are bringing together 25 organizations currently. Those come from 11 countries, and 4 of organizations on top are actually having global or pan-European or international remit, so not really national remit. So it's a quite interesting and exciting network. We just recently came back from the UN Ocean Conference, where we contributed to a side event on ocean literacy, and you have speakers here and organizers. It was a great collaboration also with the network of early career professionals and several other big initiatives very active in ocean literacy. What is it that, how do we go about our work? Well, we believe that ocean literacy is really an enabler of scientific activity, and not only because scientists as societal actors have to engage and give back to society, but also because science itself is becoming richer when we have citizen scientists and when we have people engaged through ocean literacy activities. We developed a few years ago a policy brief with our recommendations to oceanographic institutes and meteorological agencies to really extend, expand, and strengthen their portfolio on ocean literacy. And I'm going to present a few recommendations. But in addition to this kind of collaboration at the level of institutes and funding agencies, we also work quite a lot trying to understand who we should be partnering with in ocean literacy. And ocean literacy is, of course, not just between science and society. We have very, very big number of stakeholders and actors which are bringing their talents and creativity to ocean literacy activities. And for example, our session at last week's Ocean Decade Conference was looking at ocean literacy through activities in recreation, in tourism, in sports, in working with underprivileged communities, and all sorts of different engagements. So in our policy brief, we have prepared 6 recommendations which help us as scientists coming from scientific collaboration, either working in national institutes or like me in pan-European collaboration, go to our funders and to decision makers with some ideas about ocean literacy as an enabler for bringing more talents to the science, bringing more creativity, and having science as a more impactful activity. So first recommendation is that it's important that ocean literacy and citizen science in this part as well are really strong connector between our economic, our policy, and societal and educational activities. Second is that ocean literacy, and we have done a survey on that, for example, and we really have seen that impact is not strongly monitored. This is predominantly linked to lack of funding, but not only. If we want to go strong with ocean literacy in all broad sense of it, we need to be very clear about what we want to achieve, what the success looks like, what the KPIs are, and how this impact can be tangibly and systematically monitored. Second, ocean literacy has expanded from just outreach and engagement to really a scientific discipline. So there are a lot of know-hows, best practices in ocean literacy, and I'm really excited to discover more today. And already from Louis' presentation, it was clear there are technological innovations all the time, and also methodologies that are improved and becoming international as well. So we would like to see ocean literacy as a recognized research field on its own right. Scientists, for example, cannot do it all alone, nor cultural agencies or educational agencies cannot do it all alone. We have to partner with professionals with other disciplines. It comes as a natural idea, of course, for all of us practitioners in ocean literacy, but actually this is not so easily done. It requires partnership, strategic collaboration, and again, high-level recognition of ocean literacy as really an important activity of the organization or community. We find, since we are working together in this group of 25 organizations for 5 years, that this is incredibly empowering. It really gives impetus and strength and momentum to ocean literacy since we started collaborating. So propagating such kind of partnerships in ocean literacy for practitioners to exchange their lessons learned, their barriers, their challenges, and to look for solutions together is extremely powerful. We are, for example, in Uruguay's ocean literacy group, trying to expand our activities, for example, in the basins which are currently not part of the Uruguay's regional collaboration, for example, in the Black Sea. Next week, there is a stakeholder conference there, and I'm going to be speaking on ocean literacy there as well. Finally, ocean literacy activities are rarely really fully inclusive and accessible. This is still a big gap. We should be looking at ocean literacy beyond recreation, beyond spare time, for people in professional environments, for people in underprivileged environments, different challenges of health, people in hospitals, in prisons, etc., etc. So inclusivity and accessibility are new areas in ocean literacy which should be carefully considered. That science propagated through ocean literacy doesn't become some kind of privileged activity, but really open and accessible to all. So I would like to leave you with a few take-homes. If you visit this URL here, you will discover a page of ocean literacy resources, which we collect from members contributing to our ocean literacy activities. So basically developed by scientists for society. They are ready to use. These are games, multilingual books, videos, different activity sheets, etc. And in Eurogoose, we have our own little resource. It's a book of which I'm a proud author, which is translated into 5 languages, and it works very well with children, but not only. Actually, also works quite well with adults as a conversation opener. I'll be happy to give you more about our activities and also collaborate and have more organizations involved in our Decade project. You can scan the QR here for the page on Eurogoose, or my details are on the other side of the slide. Thank you very much again for this opportunity. I look forward to the discussions.
Thank you, Dina. We can take some questions for Dina now, or comments. We have a very shy room of people here. Okay, I'm going to start with a question again then. So Dina, think about the most successful ocean literacy event or activity that you've held. And then think about what made it successful. Can you tell us one thing that all of us can try to do in our future OL activities to make it successful?
I have 2 examples, because the thing is that in Eurogoose, it is not the mandate of the working group to actually perform ocean literacy. What we do is organize things around ocean literacy so that ocean literacy is performed by those on the ground. However, we still do some ocean literacy activities. For example, I would give 2 very short examples. So one example is when we were promoting our child book to schools in Brussels, and that has been really very nice, very long organization. For 1 or 2 hour session, you really have to dedicate a lot of time. This is something that really is a lesson learned. We've done it several times, but each time you realize that actually how much output you get and how much involvement you get is not always proportionate to the amount of effort you need to have to contact the teachers, the schools, they prepare, etc. But the benefits are there, actually extremely rewarding. So the school has become part of the European network of blue schools, not because we intervened, but of course it was part of the contribution. They have started really being more active. They develop annual programs, etc. So sometimes this huge effort for a small class actually comes out with a big impact, if you see my line of thinking. Second quick example which I can share is when we were launching our Decade project, and Louise was there on stage with me, for example, at the Ravenna conference of European Maritime Days. I don't know, 3 years ago maybe, or 2. There I thought what really worked very well is we were not just inspiring or sharing our lessons learned and our project and what we want to do and how it's important, but we really went to co-create, co-design some solutions with the audience. So this was really fantastic feedback from people, and the amount of creativity we have, even right here, right now, it's really very nice to exchange. And sometimes people are shy, and that's normal, but you can put them in a framework of exchange, and they will, the ice will be broken and the ideas will flow. And this, of course, creates also spreads over to other possible scenarios of partnerships and collaborations, which maybe we haven't even planned in the beginning. So, yeah, these are 2 for me.
Great, thanks, Dina. So I see that Luisa has raised her hand online.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to say I agree with Dina with the conference in Ravenna, and instead of just presenting stuff, that we have these small groups where people were more comfortable as well to share their thoughts, and the discussion there was really great. You got some new ideas from various people, so I agree with you, that was really good way to do it. But I also had a question, and that was regarding the web page and the tools that we have there to download. I just wonder if we have any, if you can see in the statistic, if people are using that the material that is there, and if it's like some countries more than others, or if something is more popular than other things.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I take a note to me to check the stats. I actually don't really know because I can't say I monitor it often. We are now trying to expand a little bit this resource page. We also heard that other initiatives develop this kind of resource pages, but actually ours is quite well organized and it's really ready to use resources. So, and very short introductory text. So it's really easy to go to the page and explore the materials. But statistics is absolutely necessary. Yeah, I will check on that. Very good point. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you so much, Dina. And I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Rula Andriopoulou. She's a scientist at HCMR, and she's representative of the Greek Plastic Pirates Initiative. And she is part of the Institute of Marine Biological Resources and Inland Water of HCMR, as well as the Education Unit. I'll leave the microphone on for you. And then, Dina, could you please stop sharing your screen? Thank you. And we will find your presentation. So it should be this one. Share full screen.
Yes, it's the person.
And
Okay.
presentation.
It again.
Are you able to see the presentation online?
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave this microphone on.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the invitation to participate in this so interesting session about projects related with and issues related to science, citizen science. My name is Rula Andriopoulou. I am a biologist and I am working in Institute of Marine Biological Resources and Inland Water of HCMR. And I am also the head officer for education unit of HCMR. My presentation has to do with about Plastic Pirates, an initiative, Plastic Pirates Go Europe, a citizen science initiative for capturing the plastic waste on the riverbanks and near water bodies. Okay, well, we all know, at least among us, that citizen science initiatives represent a promising approach to involve the general public in research processes and thereby answer novel research questions. So under this framework, the initiative Plastic Pirates Go Europe has been developed in Germany in 2016. And focused on schools groups in Germany. And in 2020, a joint campaign of 3 different ministries of the Ministries of Education, Science and Research of Germany, Portugal, and Slovenia was implemented. And during this campaign, school classes and youth groups collected plastic samples at streams and rivers and documented their results from these countries. As this initiative seems to be very interesting for more and was spread to other countries, From January 2022, the action has been extended to other EU member states with the support of the EU Commission. You can see some photographs from the groups that work in the field and gather all the waste that they find during the implementation of the protocols. So far, we have 13 European countries: Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Georgia, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Portugal, Slovenia, and Spain that participate in this initiative. And the European Research Area Policy Agenda identified plastic pirates as part of the Air Action 14, bring science closer to citizens. The initiative contributes to the key priority area, taking up together the challenges posed by the twin green and digital transition and increasing society's participation in the area. And the European Union Commission is founding the Europeanization of the Plastic Pirate Citizen Science Initiative as part of the Framework Programme for Research and Innovation. So all of these are good news for this consortium and this initiative. And as plastic pirates are directly contributing according to the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters to the objectives and targets of the mission, as they prevent and eliminate pollution of our oceans, seas and waters, and mobilize and engage the public to help raise awareness for the environmental challenges we face. Sorry. Okay. Okay, how it works this? Plastic pirates, under the umbrella of plastic pirates, various samplings are taking place in rivers, oceans, and seas all across Europe in a harmonized and standardized manner. That means that we use that one common approach. So young people aged from 10 to 16 years old, interested in science and in the environment, are given the opportunity to play a hands-on role in research. The samplings of plastic pirates are taking place, as I said, in all the countries that are involved in this campaign, in two periods each year, during spring and autumn. And there are a lot of material like videos, booklets, and teaching material which give explanation and all the details that somebody need how to implement the sampling and how it can work, how he can work in the field. What are the main objectives of the project? The main objectives of the project has to do with the following: to gain and improve scientific knowledge and raise environmental awareness among the participants, to proactively engage and empower especially young European citizens to act, to increase the scientific and ocean literacy of the participants, to gather, analyze, and share research data on the origins and pathways of plastic pollution from and in European rivers, oceans, and seas, to help to develop systematic solutions for the prevention, reduction, and removal of marine and riverine pollution, particularly plastics, and to test, replicate, and refine best practice models for linking excellent science and citizens' engagement. So the contribution to excellence science has to do with the procedure that you can see in the sim. We have samplings. Every sampling is being processed for further analysis. So far, more than 10 scientific papers are being written based on the data that have been collected through the implementation of the Plastic Pirates Initiative. And all this data can help the EU policy and to monitor all the objectives that they have to follow and in order to implement policies related to the to the reduction of plastic pollution. The support of excellence of science and NEU monitoring is that all this data can help and to develop, to feed in a way, let's say, quite important databases like EMODnet and XenoNet. And all this data can help to the implementation of directives like WFT, MSFT, Zero Pollution Action Plan, EU Single-Use Plastic Directive. The approach that plastic pirates follow is, in a way, you can see it in this theme, that there is an interaction between different involvements, stakeholders, let's say, and participants, who are the groups, the students, the scientists, the society, the experts, and all of them. And finally, we come to the policymakers that can use all this data and can provide better recommendations related to the environmental issue of pollution. Also, the initiative support local partners and build research community. You can see in this image some of the participants from all the countries. There are research centers and NGOs and not only, and other organizations. The results, according to the results, as you can see, so far we have quite interesting results. More than 6,000 people have been participating so far in the implementation of the campaign. More than 300 schools have been participated from all these countries. And as you can see, we have there are a lot of also papers that have been written and developed through all of these years that the campaign is going on. There is a result map in the site of Plastic Pirates that you can see you can find all the data sets. Every information has been uploaded there and verified. And so far, more than 19,000 participants have been uploaded. Not participants have been uploaded. I mean, the persons that have been involved in the campaigns are more than 900. 1900. You can see from the map the dots that refers to the schools and still from each country that have been involved in this campaign. And let's go to see how this campaign works in Greece. We started the campaign in summer 2022. Hellenic Center for Marine Research is in head of this initiative in Greece. The Greek Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs and Sports came in contact with us in order to inform us about this initiative. And Hellenic Center for Marine Research, in collaboration with University of Aegean Department of Marine Science, together as scientific key organizations, are supporting the implementation of the campaign in Greece. We wanted to get involved in this, the educational community. So we thought that it will be better if we go to schools through the environmental education centers that we have more than 50 all over Greece, environmental education centers. That are the environmental education centers are under the umbrella of Ministry of Education. And they have a local, not only local character and local role, but they can play a very important role in locally. So we choose 4 environmental education centers: the Environmental Education Center of Mouzaki in Thessaly, the Environmental Education Center of Kilkis, this is in the north of Greece, three, not 4, and Environmental Education Center of Everietoula in Lesbos. And the environmental education centers were responsible to find the school groups who were interested to participate in the campaign. We wanted to gather quite big river basins and rivers that have a lot of input related to waste. So we have 6 schools who participated so far in the project, 4 schools from Attica and 4 schools from Thessaly and Macedonia. These 6 schools, these 8 schools have been participated in the period autumn 2022, and in period of spring 2023, we had 7 schools from Attica, Corfu, and Lesbos who participated in the campaign. And you can see how they work. They have protocols. All this material is in the site. It's very well explained, and if they need information, they can ask us, and we can inform them and try to explain them. We had 2 online workshops for the teachers to explain them how the protocol works. And from the images, you can see how many and what kind of waste you can find in the rivers. The school is responsible to upload the information. We are responsible to do the verification of this data. And they also, the schools also, according to the protocol, they can gather in microplastic through a net. And HCMR also is responsible from the examination of microplastics. That's so far. I try to be briefly. All the information, all the material, all what has to do about the participants, about the flyers, everything that has to do with the project, you can find it in the project website, which is translated and in other languages. And you can find, of course, in Greek too, this information. Thank you very much for your attendance. And if you need anything to explain,
Thank you, Rula. Any questions? Gabriel?
Yeah, so you've understood that multi-parts is under the EU umbrella, right?
Yes, now, yes, it's under the EU umbrella, at least from last year. It was not. It started with national funds from Germany and other kind of funds, but now it's under EU umbrella.
And I've seen that now it's a European initiative. Now it's 13 countries. So how is the process for new countries? Because I've seen that the new countries are joining. It's a top bottom, so it's the ministry of the various countries that decides to join to establish. It's a bottom-up process with the institutes, researchers, scientists promoting. How is it working?
Yes, it started like from the ministries of education, but now I think it's more open. So if a group from a country wants to participate, he can ask. I mean, there is a form in the website, and he can take all the information that he needs. But most of the time, in most cases, there is a scientific partner in each country, and the schools most of the times communicate with the scientific partners because they need support to explain an explanation of how to implement the protocol. So if a group is interested to participate, find this initiative, let's say through internet, for example, or social media, and ask to be a member of this initiative, the coordinator will tell him to come in contact with the local person in his country, which is the scientific partner of Greece, for example. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
First of all, congratulations about your work in Plastic Pirates.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'd like to ask you about if you have ever performed any citizen science campaign in near coastal areas or in the water.
No, at least
In main inland waters. Or...
no. It's starting like a campaign related to river waste, but now it's been expanded to beach. We also are working with protocols related to the waste that we can find in the sea, in the seas, in the beaches, and it's something. Yes, it's becoming. We open it in a way, and the experts that participate in to organize these protocols are very familiar with protocols of plastic waste related to cleanups and to all these citizen science protocols that are quite well spread all over, and they are very easy. You can use them easily, because it's something that we have to take under consideration to be standard, a method that has to be standardized in order to have data that they're solid, and you can use them for sure. Okay.
Lanzarina.
Hello, I have a question. Can you hear me well? Yes, okay. Thank you for the presentation to all of you. So I have a question about the educational level of the schools that can participate in the initiative. I mean, is it open to everything from, I don't know, can kindergartners participate, or it's primary schools and above, or it's higher grades?
No, we have a limitation according to the age. The groups that participate in this initiative are from 10 years old to 16 years old. So because the protocol is quite, it's not difficult, but it has a lot of steps. And the group that is responsible for the implementation has a lot of work to do, not only in the field, but it has to do a lot of work. And after, when they return to the school, they have to write down all the type of waste that they found, to fill the protocol, and then to upload, and then to discuss. That means they must be in an age that they can support all of this.
Yes, it makes sense. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good. There is social media of each country. You can follow us in Instagram and in Facebook. Plastic Buyers Go Greece, Plastic Buyers Go Latvia, Slovenia, whatever. And you can see, I mean, from the sublinks, photos, and some key notes or interesting things that we think we have to share among us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rula.
Hmm?
Oh, are you?
That's okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. And then, yes, now So we'll move on to our next speaker. Thank you, Rula. And our next speaker is Mariana Matalara. She's on the External Advisory Board. Is it? Oh, it's still shared. Okay, we're going to work on unsharing the screen. But Mariana is on the External Advisory Board for Nautilus, so she's quite familiar with what we've been doing in the project. And she's here today representing the Submariner Network.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
so Mariana, welcome, and you can share your screen from your side.
Perfect. Let me just go back to it. Here it is. Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm going to talk about a few slides about Submariner, just in case some of you are not familiar with us and with what we do. Moving then to citizen science and engagement and the type of activities we've carried out. So we are a network that is bringing together actors from the Baltic Sea region, or at least we were born with that objective, because we wanted to promote innovative and sustainable uses of marine resources in the region. And in fact, we are a flagship network under the EU strategy for the Baltic Sea region, as well as we are the coordinators of one of the lighthouses for Mission Ocean for the Baltic and North Sea area called Blue Mission Banos. But nevertheless, we have activities across all the other sea basins as well. So even though our main focus has been on the Baltic for many years, we're now also representatives of the blue economy at trans-regional level. When we started, we developed a roadmap of what we thought we needed to achieve and work on for having this innovative use of marine resources in the Baltic Sea. And after 7 years of having all of our actions guided under this roadmap, we made an assessment of what was achieved, what not, what was the status of the region, and then what we needed to include new in the next roadmap. So you can check it out there. And this is a roadmap that then has the overall path, let's say, that we follow for the implementation of our projects. Very quickly, basically, we can summarize it in 4 main actions, which is getting pilots to the next level, also increasing the involvement of companies in the blue economy in the region, having the blue on land, which here is where we put citizen science, ocean literacy, and citizen engagement under this umbrella action 3. And also we created working groups on the different topics that we are interested in. And as a result of one of our projects, which is the Lighthouse Blue Mission Banos, we organized a conference last year where we had people participating from all across the region. And through the different workshops, we came up with all the action points needed to achieve the goal of the Mission Ocean and Waters in the region. So you can also access that roadmap there. And in any case, the presentation can be shared later because I'm putting a lot of links all over. So you can check all these resources later. We work in 4 main areas, let's say, or we can categorize it in 4 main topics, which is education and skills, business development, science-based policy, and demonstrators. And we have both Mission Ocean funded projects and also many projects being part of the Mission Charter pledges. But basically what englobes Submariner is these 9 solutions or areas of work, including bivalve and algae cultivation, processing and products, fisheries and aquaculture, ocean multi-use, marine spatial planning, marine protected areas, ocean governance, business support, and education and upskilling. So we have within all those 9 topics different types of activities and actions in citizen science and engagement. And I thought just adding some examples of the things we've done in case it serves as inspiration or ideas, or collaboration in the future. So we were in charge, we are part of Prep for Blue, which is the project in charge of setting up the landscape, let's say, for all the future Mission Ocean and Waters projects. So basically is the project that prepared everything to ensure the successful implementation of all Mission Ocean projects. And for Prep for Blue, we developed a series of webinars for planning citizen participation in all the Mission Ocean and Waters projects all across sea basins. So the link is there. There are 7 webinars for you to check out. And as part of Prep for Blue, we also developed the Toolbox of Approaches, which is basically a guidance on methods for facilitating, monitoring, and assessing the citizen participation levels, again, in the Mission Ocean and Waters projects. So that's available online as well for everyone to check out. During Blue Mission Ocean Banos, which is the lighthouse I was mentioning before, we went, let's say, one step back, which was first doing an assessment of the relevant actors and initiatives in terms of citizen engagement and science in the Baltic and North Sea basins. Now it's in the shape of a report, but later on will be set up as a database in Submariner's website. So it's easy to check out everything that is happening in terms of citizen engagement in the Banos area. A result is the roadmap that I was mentioning before that came out of the Mission Arena conference we organized last year. And one of the main action points, action point 7, is to increase the buy-in of citizens. So there, the different targets include a lot of citizen engagement and citizen science. And we talk about tools, about having back-to-back school programs. So basically all these action points are the guiding points that we will have in the region, meaning all the organizations involved will work on achieving these points, which is why it was important then to set up map all the activities. In another project called Aqualid, which was focused on marine litter coming from the aquaculture sector, within the many outputs that we had as part of the project, a nice one was this downloadable and printable version of the marine litter inventory. So basically we classified all the litter found both at sea and at the beach that could be identified as coming from aquaculture activities, or when not possible, aquaculture and fisheries. And we created this guide so it would be easy to identify and classify it. And another part, like the main output of the project was a toolbox, but in terms of citizen engagement, we had a section where people could submit the solution. So basically the toolbox has more than 400 different solutions for targeting, from monitoring and preventing to recycling and reduction of marine litter. People could submit their solutions if they were not appearing already on the toolbox. So then this could be a collaborative effort across organizations, people, and so on. And there is an app version as well to do so. In Cool Blue, which is focused on regenerative farming, our partner, the Uni of Gothenburg, has this seafloor observatory. So we set up this baited remote underwater video, or as we call it in land, the camera trap, to be used by citizens. So basically, there are first some videos, tutorials on how to use it. And once the citizen knows how to use it, basically they just go to the video and see what's happening. and they need to click and identify species like, okay, this is a crab, this is a fish, and the whole idea is to gather information on an invasive fish species called round goby, which is expanding quite rapidly in the region. So the idea is that citizens help train the artificial intelligence to identify the round goby among all the other species. So this is quite cool. Another type of activity happened also now in the UN Ocean Decade Conference, which was a role-playing game. This was quite successful as people had fun. So it was a 2-day event as a satellite event. The UN organized this Marine Protected Areas Forum. And now that it was mentioned that in the EMD in Ravenna, it was very successful having this type of interactive activities. I second that comment, because from all the 2-day long, series of presentations, this was the only session that was different, and we put people to play where we presented a imaginary scenario of a marine protected area. And we acted the different roles of the different stakeholder groups and what their interest was in the area. And then we divided all the audience, which was a mixture of citizens and also people involved in marine protected areas as well, to find a solution to our scenario. And it was very interesting. People were very engaged. There were a lot of discussions, and at the end, also to boost motivation, we had winning a prize, which was the winning team adopted a shark that they can actually go and track and see where the shark is swimming. So that was really nice. And then we have projects starting very soon, or from here to fall, let's say, where we also included some citizen science and engagement activities. So the first one is focused on ocean and arts. So it's about engaging artists, citizens, and scientists for a common goal, which is mobilizing for the water and oceans. So here we aim to involve at least 400 citizens from 20 different communities through workshops and co-creation activities, to have them view themselves as part of the aquatic ecosystems instead of as separate entities, as we tend to do as humans. So we're going to have also artistic residencies and pilots, and this is going to be a fun one, let's say. Then we have this other upcoming project called Blue Connect, where we have a whole module focused both on citizen engagement and stakeholders cooperation. And the idea is to work with citizens in each of the demo sites to build the co-ownership of efficiently conserved MPAs. So within this project, we will work with monitoring and restoration activities that are going to be adapted to the local conditions. This includes, for example, in some parts, having citizens and fishers trained to recover the seagrass shoots, so then these can be replanted on the site. We will also work with some diving centers and train them to do long-term monitoring of the underwater habitats. We will organize local BioBlitz events, and we will have an online visualization system for citizens to interpret the data that was gathered during the joint work, and to have them assess as well part of the data with our contribution, of course. Lastly, we have another project coming called BioProtect, where here we will have 2 types of citizen involvement. The first one will be on participatory mapping. So this project is also focused on marine protected areas. And here we will have citizens helping us co-design the priority areas of conservation, citizens and other groups of stakeholders. And in one of the sites, we will engage citizens and train them to collect eDNA samples. I think this will be in Iceland, probably, if I'm not mistaken. and organize these participatory events where we will do the collection of the samples. So summarizing, and I have 1 minute left as I'm timing myself. Basically, we have these 4 main or englobing ways of involving citizens, which is from all the preparatory assessments, like I was mentioning in the mapping of initiatives, of knowing what's there, but also developing tools and content then for other organizations to use. Or we have also the direct engagements like this co-development or already the implementation of activities. So there are like these 4 stages, let's say, of the citizen involvement where we are participating. And in Submariner, I mean, we are a network quite big with full members, associate members, mentors, experts, partners, startups, and so on. So we invite you to check us out, get in touch. And yeah, there is the QR to the website or my contact in case you want to contact me later or know more about any of the things I presented now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana.
I see Luis has a question, maybe? I see your hand raised. No. Haisea?
Yes, thanks, Marina. So it's not a question, maybe just 2 comments. So I am very interested in the upcoming project. I think it's tidal arts, right? Where so the goal is to co-create something, I don't know, like cool with artists, citizens, and scientists. So just, I know you know Surfrider, but just at Surfrider we have like an art campus, and we also do this kind of stuff. So I will be very happy to discuss a little bit more about this with you, not right now, but another.
Definitely.
Yes, and also same another comment about taking eDNA samples. I know that's really challenging. So also I would be happy also to keep me posted like about this and how you're gonna deal with this. Yeah. So that's no question, but some comments.
We'll stay in touch then.
Okay, thanks, Marina.
Any question from the room, maybe?
Yes, Katrina.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. I'm also really interested into the BioProtect project. Do you have already social media working? I didn't find out.
In BioProtect, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, no. So all these 3 upcoming projects that are mentioned are some of them are starting in May, others in September, and one in May, one in September, and one to be defined within that same range. So actually the information I shared should be confidential and I'm not supposed to share it, but I thought, I mean, this is a closed group, so it should be fine. But yeah, let's say around summer, probably we will have already social media for the different projects.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should turn off our live stream to YouTube to the public then. I have a question, Mariana. Thanks for the presentation. So if I understand correctly, most of these activities and projects are related to the Baltic North Sea, the Banos Lighthouse. Is that right? Or
yes and
is there
no.
some coordination going across lighthouses as well for some of these activities?
So for example, BioProtect will be a lighthouse, but focusing on the Arctic Atlantic. So we do have activities and our projects are focused, they include most of the sea basins in Europe. But many are focused on the Baltic because that was the focus, the origin of, let's say, our focus. But along the years, we've expanded to more sea basins. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Gabriel?
More than a question, was just a comment. I've seen the effort about these collaborative tools to ask citizens or students for classifying those videos. I think this is something that is increasing a lot in very, very different projects. So also in Nautilos, we have these, I think, the thing that have been done in your page 10 as well with this universe set up by HCMR. So I think this is interesting. And maybe this could be compared and joint effort could be made to improve various aspects. I think the universe is more related with underwater images, right? While your effort was more on videos. I don't know, if it's still underwater views or I would say
Yeah, it's underwater
protected
videos.
scenarios. I don't know what it is. But just a comment, not really.
Yeah. Okay. Think. Yeah, we can integrate or coordinate joint actions on that. I hope I got everything because the sound was not pretty clear. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mariana.
Thank you.
And our next speaker wasn't able to join today, but we have a video that we're going to show. And her name is Ariana Linconti, and she's a marine citizen science expert from OutB. So we're going to try to share a video and see what happens.
Sales. This is the bottom of the sales screen. Yes.
Okay, can you guys see that online too? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And then tell me if you can't hear it.
Not yet.
Okay, so I think you guys can't hear it online, right?
No, we can't.
Do we need to put a microphone up to the speaker or something?
Yes. To change the
So not live, but I don't mix up.
Now we can.
Okay.
now.
Creature is actually the biggest
Yeah.
bonefish in the world. And it's very, very
well known among sailors and people who experience the ocean every day. You can often see these big fins just popping up in the surface, especially around springtime, around this time. But despite being often cited by boaters, this fish is actually considered data deficient from the IUCN Red List, which means that the scientific community does not have enough information to classify this fish, to understand if this fish needs to be protected or not. For example, maybe it's threatened, or maybe it's found in places that are not well protected. And this is to say that even if there are lots of citizen science projects around the marine environment, even if scientists, they are always looking out for data, the linkage in between the people who experience the ocean every day and the people who study the ocean every day is very, very weak. So if protecting the ocean is a matter of understanding it, the people who experience on the ocean every day can really be like a huge treat for science. The many hands and science needs in order to collect evidence and needs for marine conservation. And this in turn does not just benefit the environment itself, because we can understand more about the ocean and also increase ocean literacy, but it also increases our well-being. It gives us a new reason for which to get out at sea, and also like a purpose for our explorations. For me, in the future, like everyone that is going to be doing like an outdoor sports in the ocean will have to do citizen science, because it's going basically to be like doing recycling. Everyone will have to do it. And this is what we do. We really believe that only by living the outdoors with curious eyes, we can deliver the health and well-being, not just for us, but also for the planet. And how we do it is basically by connecting the dots. You as scientists, you as people who love being outdoor, bring the value, and we just connect the dots. So we ask the scientists, what kind of data do you need? We ask the outdoor centers and the sports team, what can you do for us? Can you collect this kind of data? What are you doing? Can we create some experiences that can benefit both the ocean and the well-being of the people? And at the same time, we make sure, and this is important for this kind of conversation, that the data goes where it has the most impact. How do we do it? So first, we train the outdoor centers and the outdoor people, the sport teams, on all the citizen science projects that we select. With this training, we have created a handbook of scientific projects dedicated to outdoor community, in which actually you can find projects which are kindly also into even net physics or net pollution. For example, outdoor warning, where we basically take a drop of seawater, have a look through it with a little microscope and understand if there's a special toxic algae called Ostreopsis. Or we drop down a rope with these little, they look like buttons, but actually they are temperature sensors, and we can put them down with a rope while we kayak and do like educational activities, or we can put them on our leash while we surf. We monitor for sea temperature, and even meteor tracker, which is actually a portable weather station that I'm going to talk about further later on. And then we put it in action. So maybe this outdoor sports center goes often on kayaks, and so we link them up with the scientists who need to understand the microplastic distribution along coastal waters. And then we create projects like the Mini Mantis project, where these net here is sifting the water and collecting microplastic, as these two guys are doing. And actually, this is a very, very efficient way of sampling microplastic, because you don't have the engine of the motor, and you can go very, very close ashore rather than being outside with big ships. And then, for example, our most recent project, Small Boats for Big Ocean Science, where this skipper here, Francesco, has crossed the Atlantic with this little boat here called Gin Tonic. And Gin Tonic is a mini 6.5, meaning it's only 6.5 meters long. It's a very small boat, super and minimalistic. And if this boat can have oceanographic sensor on board while racing, it means that every boat can have it. So the mini transat race, which Francesco did with the sensors on board, went from Les Sables d'Olonne to La Palma in the Canary Islands and up to Guadeloupe. I was actually on board one of the support boats of this crossing, so it was very personal to me. And on board, we have different prototypes of the sensors that would collect temperature and salinity data as the boat was sailing. So this tail was going into the wake of the boat and collecting data day and night while sailing. And then we would like take a little SIM card, put it in the computer, very like rudimental, and upload the data on, like, for example, Sinbad, which is also a project developed together with EMODNet, and we would try to understand if this data was accurate and if it could go in EMODNet physics. So we did all these trials, and in the end, we had on board a prototype called Brizzo, which was collecting the temperature, atmospheric pressure, sea states, and was, of course, geolocalized throughout the section. And then we had another sensor, a little bit more innovative and more developed, called SenseOcean. It's a French sensor, which was also collecting salinity and was also autonomous with a little solar panel on top. And then we have Meter Tracker on board, which is this little portable weather station that collects all of these essential weather data, and is very, very important for both weather predictions, but also climate change prediction, in order to understand, okay, what is actually happening as we speak, and how can that be modeled in the future, and how can we modify our actions. And then we have the environmental logger that I was talking about earlier, which we were putting down in the harbors on a rope or, well, kayaking and doing other activities. And it's paired with an application. It's very simple to use. It's actually a very cheap methodology. So we're very grateful to have tested it, and we can say that it works very, very well. We are implementing it into our experiences. And then we also are interested in the biodiversity, of course, so the sightings of marine animals. Every time we would see out at sea during the activities like an animal, we would take digital localization and take a picture and share it on an application like iNaturalist. In this way, our sighting is not just wonderful to witness, but is also essential for researchers to understand what is happening to biodiversity. And then all of this will be reported. So the data that we collect together with the data that scientists collect, it goes into a big computer, it can be modeled, it can be seen for distribution, it can go and influence policy, and policy can also influence our daily actions. So this for us is like the win-win that makes citizen science so important to do while we do our activities. And then, of course, there's the storytelling part. So we are on all social media channels, also on TikTok recently. And we're really striving to tell that everyone can be a difference while they protect their playground, their world, fantastic, like, marine environments and terrestrial environments in which they do their activities, like regenerative experiences that everyone can do daily, and they're good for them and they're good for the planet. And this is kind of like as the marine environment works, like everything in the marine environment works for the benefit of the other. A jellyfish works also for the benefit of the sardine, and the same thing happens for a whale. There isn't an egoistic strive in the ocean, and maybe we should just do as they do. We need to work together as ecosystems and completely without borders. And we believe that joining forces among scientists and outdoor lovers with citizen science is really to be doing this. And of course, making sure that the data is available to everyone. And thank you so much for the work that you all guys are doing. I'm really looking forward to connect with all of you, maybe in the future, maybe via the emails that we have, and answer the questions that you may have after this brief presentation. Very sorry not to be there with you, but I very, very much hope so that you could follow us and keep in contact and get outdoor for the good of ourselves and for the good of nature. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right, thank you, Ariana. Do we have any questions? Ariana, any comments? I know that at some point, at least Manolos and I have talked about water sports and sensors. I don't think we included it in the Nautilus proposal, but has anyone thought about which sensors could go on a surfboard or a kayak or other water sports type of platforms?
Or CDB from not small. And it's small, is it? Because the sensing part is so small. Yeah, because we try to ask if we can use it with divers, but it's not yet so small. Divers or surfboards. Yeah, but I think it's an excellent challenge.
Public comment, we definitely need to include these kind of things in a future project. Definitely, this is for sure. I mean, surfboards, kayaks, and etc. And I'm volunteering to test it.
We have our mobile human platform with Michaela. Okay. Then we'll move on to our last speaker, who's been with us from the very beginning. Thank you for being patient, Heiza. So our next speaker is Heiza Jimenez, and she is the Head of Expertise Department at Surfrider Foundation of Europe. So Heiza, please share your presentation and welcome.
Yes, I think you need to unshare your screen before I can share my
Okay,
voice.
I will try to
Sorry.
unshare the screen if I can.
Okay.
Did it work?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
We can see it, but it's in the normal window mode, not presentation mode.
Really? Okay, that's weird because my computer. Let's see, I'm gonna try again. Is it better now? Oh,
It's still in
Same.
the same window mode, not presentation mode.
okay. Sorry. Let's try. Hopefully, it's the good one. I don't know.
We still see it in the window mode.
Okay.
Do you want me to try to share it from the side, or do you just want to give your presentation in the window mode?
I don't know. I don't think you have my presentation, right? I don't think so.
Don't know either.
Because I tried putting on the presentation mode instead of that. Okay, but
No, we don't have your presentation.
okay.
And
Oh.
screen instead of applications.
That's
Sorry. But this. What is the problem?
What about now? Still the same?
still in window mode, yes.
Maybe because it says product activation failed, so maybe it's just something wrong with PowerPoint on your side.
Okay.
In this,
She did. Yeah, it still didn't work for her.
Okay.
it's
But is it, I mean, can you see the slides?
not problem.
If I,
We can, yeah.
Maybe
It's just that
just click on
it's in-
home so the top menu disappears.
yes.
Again, yeah.
Again, what? Sorry.
Like I think if you click again on home, the menu might disappear. Or the arrow on the right-hand side. Next to the question mark.
Here.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So let's go. So Surfrider Foundation is a non-profit organization which is made of, we like to say we are positive activists working daily to take action in the field and to pass on a preserved ocean to future generations. And our last lemma is our mission is to be the voice of the ocean. So we have a pretty big community with a lot of citizens, students, teachers. Yes.
Sorry, guys. So since we see the window mode, maybe you can change the slide in the window mode too.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, now we're on the slide 2.
Okay, so 3 now.
Now we're on slide 3.
Okay, but do you see the full screen or?
No, just the window mode.
Wow.
But it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can zoom in a little bit, maybe, on the window mode.
Sorry about that.
Perfect.
Okay, sorry. So I was saying our community is made of citizens, students, teachers, experts, activists, also athletes and artists, as I said before, and we all love the ocean. So we have Surfrider was started in the United States and the Surfrider Foundation Europe now is in 12 countries. We have 46 chapters. So chapters mean like local teams taking actions. And in these chapters, we have about 1,200 volunteers. And we have like almost 200,000 supporters. So we think global, so we are spread all over Europe and our action is more local. So we are working on 3 main issues. So the first one is marine litter, the second one is water quality and health, and the last one, coastal development. And we use 4 different levers. So the first one is education and awareness. We also do mobilization. We have scientific expertise and also political advocacy. So I'm gonna give some examples of a citizen science program we have on 2 of our main issues. So the first one is on marine litter. So our goal is to reduce the environmental impact on man-made waste, mainly plastic waste, not only, but we are focusing on plastic waste at source. And so we have a program called Plastic Origins, which remind me, I think I was Rula talk about plastic pirates, but it's kind of similar. So maybe we can share about that too later. So the goal of this program is to provide data on plastic pollution, so almost macroplastic in rivers, and to encourage local decision makers to act. So why on rivers? Because even if we are focused on ocean, we know that almost 80% of marine litter come from inland. So it's why we are also looking what's happening on the rivers. So this project uses, so I'm gonna go more into details a little bit later, but so we collect data, we identify different trash, and we do like kind of mapping and then propose some solution to local authorities and even like if we can then try to act like European regulation on European regulations. So the first step is to go to the field, and we have an app, so you can download if you want, called Plastic Origins. And so we use or kayak or walking, you can do both. So you take your phone, I'm gonna go back a little bit. So you take your phone, and so you have 2 modes. You can do the manual mode where every time you see a trash, you put add an item, which kind of item is it, and enter. And we also have an automatic mode where you use your phone as a camera. where you want kayaking, for example. And we have AI modeling, so artificial intelligence mode, where is detecting the different trash items itself. And so all of these data are going to a database, and we have, so this is the beginning, kind of beginning of mapping macroplastics on rivers. So as you can see, we have some data in France and a little bit in Germany, Spain, and Bulgaria, Albania, but of course we need to go more on the field. So if you want to do that and to contribute, just feel free to download the app. And in parallel, we are working with local authorities. If we see some rivers very polluted, we encourage local authorities to do something, and we give them, for example, action sheets with solution they can use in the city, and so in order to reduce the plastic items they are going to the river and so then to the ocean. This is another science, citizen science program we are using. It's called OSPARITO. So it's like a OSPAR protocol, but for the kids. So the idea is to educate the young people to preserve the ocean. So the scenario is that the kids are going to the beach and they are like little detectives. And we have a surface, like 100-meter long surface on the beach, and they collect every trash they see, and then organize them, or they quantify them by items. And then back to school, we analyze together the data they have collected, and we explain them how important it is to act even if they are very young. And we also organize some like specific chats with scientists, so they can like feel good actors and reducing trashes in the beaches. And for the other main issue about water quality and health, the goal we have at Surfrider is to guarantee access to healthy environment and excellent water quality for water sports users and the ocean community. It can be for swimmers as well. We have a program called CURL in collaboration with IFREMER and EPOC, which are French research laboratories. So the goal is to analyze surface exposure to chemical pollution. So why we want to do that? Because today water quality indicators are essentially based on bacteria indicators. If you want to go to a beach, you can have like a green flag saying, okay, you can go to the water because bacterial data is okay, but we don't know what's happening with other chemical parameters. And so we made up like a bag, so you can put around your hand, and some volunteer we call them waterman testers, are going with these passive captors. So they are doing the activity, and they can be, this is surface we have been doing with swimmers as well. And so these passive captors are taking all the data about different chemical parameters during, I think it's 100 hours in the water, so not the same surfer, of course. So having with different surfers. So we are still analyzing some data, and so I can't really share today, but just think that even we are analyzing this data, we are already a kind of booklet explaining what the project and why it's important and what kind of data we would like to have at the end, because the final goal is, once we have the data, see if we can relate to any health conditions we are observing as well, and if it's the case, see what we can do with that. That's what I'm seeing here. So it's what we can do and also raise awareness on this chemical pollution on seawater. And that's it for me today. And sorry about my computer problems.
Thank you, Idea.
Okay, I'm gonna unshare. Okay, stop.
Any questions or comments? Yes, we have a microphone somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mariana, you can go ahead while we sort out our audio.
Okay.
user.
No, very interesting, guys. Thanks for the presentation. Just a comment and a question. So the comment, yeah, why waterman testers? I mean, women can, you know, take sampling as well, right? Like that's a very, yeah, we should move away from that. But anyway, it's a very interesting project. Okay. No, very interesting. Just wondering if this will be something later on transferred or like taken out of, because I saw it was a whole consortium and it's part of a project, but is this something that Surfrider then it's taking in? And I'm asking this and just a bit of context for everyone in the room. I'm part of one of the volunteers like in the numbers, so I'm also part of Surfrider in a local group, but this would be very interesting to include in the local projects. For example, here with the Healthy Waters program that we have, the water is always polluted. So this would be a tool that would help us a lot on the work we're doing, not against, but like, yeah, against the municipality here in Porto. So just something that it would be good to have.
Yeah, so at the beginning, we thought that it would be pretty easy to spread this, I mean, yes, this protocol, but we had a lot of technical issues. So now we are trying to say, okay, so we're gonna put the protocol like very well, try to have the first data with the scientists and be sure that this is working. And once this is done, okay, we're gonna spread, because we also like, I mean, we did some sampling in Spain too, but I mean, now we need to work a little bit on technical issues, so to be sure that our data are good and then spread. Yeah. So if you went to Mariana, you can.
Looking forward.
Okay.
We'll still keep in touch. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm also looking forward to it too. I wanted to go swimming here in Heraklion, and
Okay.
our Greek colleagues convinced me not to because of the water quality, but I could have had a curl with me and gone swimming for science and not for my health.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's you can do it for surfers, but for swimmers as well. But you are not supposed to be in non-healthy water to do that. But whatever.
Water can be water persons.
Okay.
Okay, Elmar.
Hi, it's Elmar from BFKI. And my question would be a more technical one. So regarding the app that's detecting the plastic you have just shown, so in this automatic mode, you said that you use an AI for that. Because we're doing similar things in other projects and as well also in Nautilos actually. I wonder if, I mean, we can cooperate on one hand, getting in contact on that one, but also if you have already maybe a data set which was publicated for an allocated data set, actually, which you have used for training.
Yeah, sure. So the first step was to take different pictures of trash every time we went to the field, like in manual mode, and we used those pictures to train the AI model. So that was the first step. We did that like 2 years ago, I think. And so, yes, we can share about that if you send me your contact, because I can tell, I mean, I don't have more info to share with you because I'm not the people but doing the AI. We are working on French with a French research laboratory in Paris, But yes, we can share contacts and we can talk a little bit more about this if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks for contact you and afterwards. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions or comments? All right, then I'd like to thank everyone for participating and for our presenters. Thank you, Luisa, Dina, Mariana, Ariana, Rula, who's still here in the back. No, maybe she left. And also for Heisa. So, and thank you to Eva and Luisa for coordinating the workshop.
Great, thanks to you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks
also
a lot.
from my side. Yeah, just to highlight that, yeah, the waterman is a waterman, but this session was fully and full of women only, so you can be happy for this. So thank you for joining and for accepting our invite. This is a very, very nice session, and thanks to Eva for the work for putting this effort together. Thank you.